Welcome back to another daily update here in the Creepy Crawler's Garage, and we've continued work on the TRX4 project, and we've built two signs for the scale bar back here. One's digital, one's not. So let's go ahead and head on in, take a look. Don't go anywhere. The TRX4 project, or what we're calling the TRXZ, is almost finished. Basically, we're just buttoning up some of the small loose ends. One of which, if you remember back, we put in an old Tandy style computer that we're turning into a GPS system for this truck. So it's a sourced piece that they found out in the world, and they've sourced it into a GPS. And I think I've got it finished up. And what I did is I just added in a piece of clear acrylic. I don't know if you can see it. It's clear, so it might be a little tough to see. But what I did is I also drilled a small hole and then a bigger hole on the backside and put an LED in there. So now if I flip this on, basically I'm powering this with just some AA batteries back here. You can see we're getting a little bit of a glow. Hopefully you can see that. So we're getting a little bit of a green glow now on the screen. And what I plan on doing is putting in some kind of image on here, some translucent image on there that should, with this LED like you're seeing here, it should kind of glow green a little bit. And I wanted to basically put in a map here to make it look like a GPS system. So I went ahead and buttoned that up. And then I've also got to figure out the electronics. So I've actually been spending some time trying to figure out the electronics on this, because we are using, in fact, let me see if I can show you. We are using a 6-channel radio. There's a real close-up of it. But yeah, so we're using a 6-channel radio, and I've got to get that 6-channel receiver somewhere. And this is where I thought I'd get a little help from you guys. In fact, what I thought I'd show you two different options that I was thinking about, and I figured I'd have you guys vote down in the comment section which option you like better. So back here, in fact, let me grab it so that you can see where that's going to go. Back behind the driver's seat, we're going to put the ESC. So this is going to live back here. So I've got two ideas what to do with the receiver. So there's going to be a ton of wires that are going to be running through this truck. Everything from the lighting systems, because there's going to be a bunch of lights in here, plus the lights on the body. We've got the servo, the servo controlled gun inside the car, and outside we got the missile launcher that's controlled by a servo. All these are going to be taking up channels on this, and we're going to have wires running from all this. So my thought was two options. One, we could mount it right in front of the gunner here, and then we can kind of just snake all the wires along the floorboard over there. And I can wrap them and make them look real nice and, look like they're, part of this apocalyptic truck. That's no problem. And I can snake them through and everything over there. And that's no problem. I would probably have to add length to some wires, but that would work. So that's option number one. The other option I was thinking about is when this body's on, sitting here, I thought about putting it up attaching it to the roof itself as a console up top here, up on top of the roof or above the driver. And then we could snake all the wires and then having them run up remember there's a dashboard here, having them run up beside the dash, and you'd have that look of wires kind of hanging, like a bundle of wires that are hanging and then running all over the truck. And I thought that might look kind of cool. I don't know. I thought I'd leave it up to you. Vote down in the comment section. Leave me, do you want it on the roof or do you want it on the floorboard? Which do you think would look better? I think either way is doable, and either way would look good. I just want to get your opinion. What do you think down below? We're also finishing up the final details for the bar and grill that we're going to be using when we start shooting next month. And we had two main things we had left really, or three, two of which we've got done, which was the music sign, or the sign pointing in, saying that there's music played here, and a marquee. So I thought we'd look at the music sign first. It's pretty straightforward and simple sign. I wanted to keep it very simple, but I think it looks good. I think cosmetically it looks really nice. It's on a pole hanging out here. And then basically all I did was I modeled the body of the sign with the word music on it, and then 3D printed it. So that's 3D printed. And then I took some styrene and just kind of outlined it with a frame around the outside, the silver part that you see, and then kind of weathered it up. And then the word music is painted with the same paint, the same glow-in-the-dark paint we used on Willie's Bar and Grill sign. So that'll glow when we get it under UV light. That'll glow nice and bright, and it'll be showing that there's music being played here at this venue. The other one, because it is a bar and grill Grill / live music place, and there's a ton of fingerprints on this, but basically I built a frame for a cell phone. So this is an old cell phone of mine that I've slipped in there. You can see it in there. And I just, again, this was modeled and 3D printed, was the easiest way to do it. This frame that it slides into. I am going to detail this frame out a little more. Right now, to me, it really just looks like, when you back out and look at it, it really just looks like a cell phone to me. Like, it looks too much like there's just a cell phone there. So I'm going to add a lot of detail. I'll add some conduit and stuff for wiring that's coming to it and coming out of it. And I'll add some other details to it. Try to make it look a little less obvious that it's a cell phone, but I think it's going to look pretty good once the lights are out and it's on. In fact, we'll look at that when this is all done. When we finish up here, the last thing we'll do, I'm going to turn all the lights on, turn all the electronics on that we have so far. Remember, we still have lights down here that are not wired up yet, and then the lights that are going to be under the front entry are not wired up yet. And then I've also started adding, as you can see up here, I've started adding the pillars. I've got one glued in and then squared up, and I'll be adding in these pillars for the upper balcony along with the clear acrylic up there. So those aren't wired in yet. So we still have a lot more lights to come. Also, there's going to be another spotlight here along with this spotlight here. And there might be another spotlight maybe shining on the sign, or I'm not sure yet. And I'm still thinking, because I could have added LEDs to stick out on the outside here. Like usually you would see light bulbs on the outside here. I could still redo this sign, hollow it out, put some batteries in there, run wire down this pipe. This is a hollow pipe right here. It's actually a brass pipe. Let me let it focus again. That's a brass pipe that's holding it. I could run wire in there to a battery pack and have LEDs lit on the outside. I just don't know if I have the time to redo that or not. Maybe it's something we might do in the future when we revamp everything when we have time. But for now, we've got the two signs in, we've got the start of the balcony, and that will wrap up along with buttoning up the power for all the lights here. That'll wrap up the front fascia for Willie's Bar and Grill. And now I'm kind of developing a system, I guess you could say, to build, because there's going to be a lot more of this building. There's going to be a big building, but they're not going to be as detailed because we're not going to have close shots. So I'm kind of working out a system to get those built in. But anyways, let me know what you think. Let me turn all the lights out, and then I'll turn everything on so you can see what this is going to look like kind of in the lighting. And but let me know what you think down below. Thanks so much for joining me again here in the garage for another daily update. I really do appreciate all the support on this series. It's been a lot of fun putting this stuff together for you guys. I'm really excited about filming next month. I can't wait to get that started. But thank you for hitting that like button. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you for leaving those comments down below. I really do appreciate it. Patreons, please go over to the page. I got a video out for you guys about naming these guys. So please go check that out at the Patreon page. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.